Hello, my name is Donna Rothgap. I'm one of the co-chairs of the IHMAC Young Artist Exhibit for 2021. The 2021 IHMAC Young Artist Exhibit follows 2 seasons of art instructors struggling to continue their art programs in both in-person and virtual situations. We believe that is mainly why our numbers are below our usual enrollment this year. 2 years ago, 173 entries composed the show. This year, 63. 3 elements make this particular show different. Any artist, whether a USD art student, a homeschooled artist, an artist taught by a tutor, or simply a 6th through 12th grader who loves art, can participate. The reception, because of COVID, has been replaced with 2 virtual components, a full gallery of all participants and a link to a virtual critique on YouTube. Both can be found on the IHMAC website, www.ihmac.org. And the third reason is because the show last year had to be canceled due to COVID, and all participants who would have been in the show in 2020, except for the seniors, have the opportunity to enter art from both 2020 and 2021. Bob Cross, our judge for this show from Chanute, Kansas, graduated from Oswego High School in 1963, obtained an Associate of Arts degree in 65, a Bachelor of Science degree in education in both elementary and secondary art education in 67, and a master's degree in art education from PSU, while also being a member of Kappa Delta Phi Honor Society in Education. In 1967, Bob started a visual art program at Caney Junior and Senior High Schools, moved to Chanute in 1970 as a middle school art instructor, started a Chanute recreation art program, and taught at both Neosho Community College and Pittsburgh State University. Bob has conducted mostly art workshops in the open studio style of workshop and in ceramics for the Greenbush Southeast Kansas Education Service Center and the Kansas State Department of Education. Bob is very active in the Kansas National Education Association and the Art Education Association at the national and state levels. His favorite personal art piece, he says, is The Next One I Do. He believes art is not an object, but rather a way of life. And Bob, we are grateful that you would travel as far from Chanute to Independence to do this show today. And now I leave the judging and critiquing to Bob Cross.
Thank you, Donna. Appreciate that. And I very much appreciate all the work that you have to do to get a show ready. I've done several of them myself, so I understand fully. All right. So now, in talking to the students, first of all, being in an art class, you are a winner. It doesn't matter what. And when you have a judge come into an exhibit and pick out winners, the next day that same judge could come back in and pick different winners. So it's a matter of timing. So today, at this point in time, these winners are the ones that I picked for today. Like I said, if I came in tomorrow, I might pick others, or if another judge came in, they could possibly pick the same ones or some of the same ones. But it was just a joy seeing everybody's work. I love looking at kids' art. It's just fantastic. And I would love to meet with you in person just to find out why you did something that you did. That's very meaningful to me to have an understanding of what's going on. Okay, so here are the winners I picked for today. And this is in the two-dimensional miscellaneous category. I hope I get these all right when doing this. 2D, yes, okay. The first thing that I noticed about this right off, not so much the subject, but the whole outline, and when I say outline, that's the whole piece of the drawing. It draws your attention to it. It tells you, oh, look at me closer, and look at all these eyes floating around. So anytime that something grabs my attention, right off the bat, I have to look at it closer and closer and closer. And I get up in doing the judging, I was up real close looking at all these features. The composition, I do have some questions that I would love to ask. Like one of the questions that I would ask this person if we were in true life here is just exactly what are you trying to tell me with this image? So, but nice color there. All right, let's go on to the second one. Second one, basically the very same thing. This draws my attention right off the bat. The color combination speaks well, and it's real interesting to me to see the background like it is. Now, I don't know if this indicates water or just what, but I would love to know and visit. The technique is interesting because it's a mixed technique of several things there. So that's the second one. The third one is a little scratch piece, scratch art. And how could you not love this little puppy and want to touch it and pet it and everything? The texture on it is really nice. All the different strokes there, that creates the different look that you see in this image right here. The contrast is real strong with the white of the scratch and the black of the board. So it works real nice. The honorable mention one is another scratch piece. And when I first saw this one, I had to look at it twice because I wasn't sure of the image. But what I was looking at is the lights of the eyes and the nose area down here, whiskers. Now, the difference that I see in this from this is this has the real strong contrast between the white, just that much right there, and in the outline, than this. This is, for me, this is just a wee bit dark. I would like to see some more whites in here, and that will make it jump out towards the viewer, but nicely done. All right. The next category down here is drawing. And this one here, what really grabbed me on this was the color and the technique of the drawing. It's a very nice drawing. The color of the background with the foreground here is just really strong. It's a good combination, and then all of a sudden you have a different color down here, but it's not drawing away from the overall effect of it. So, and this, when you look at this, This is a combination actually of this color here and this color here. So it's a nice combination, real strong. Composition is good, fills the page. It's real nice. Okay, second place here. I had a real hard time with this category, to be honest with you, because it was almost like a flip of the coin. This here is kind of the same way that this, size-wise, it fills the whole area. This is nice and strong, big composition. The main area, when you look at this, and I'll point it out in some of the other pieces that I picked, this right here is the main area to me. And that's the golden mean area also. This, the composition is right there. And so you put the most important part of your drawing or anything in that area. And this really does it. All this here comes off of that, and it directs your eye. You can look at this piece and look at it and follow where this one goes. You can follow where that one goes. You can just follow it overall. So just a very nice, strong piece. Okay, this one here, it's much smaller than these, but it fits nicely. The drawing on the actual paperwork is just really nice. The color that you see in here works nice, and you can just imagine what this person is like with her little pet on her shoulder here. So the matching of the colors, just everything is just a nice, strong, nice little drawing. Okay. This one here is different in the sense that it does several things. One, it has the perspective that we are looking at here. It opens up this and this area right there, and it makes you think, where did this person come from? What have they been doing back here? Excuse me. And being in the graphite, mainly, it works real nice, a nice overall effect for the size. Okay, this one over here in the painting category here, this one here is just, it's kind of a magical one. I kept going back to this over and over and over again. In looking at this light spot right here, that light spot really saves this whole image to me. The back is dark, and so to have that nice contrast of that light that comes forward, this part just really stands out tremendously. Just a nice idea, good idea. Whoever did this, to do this in white against this background, really works nice. Nice and strong. Okay. This one here, second place, What I enjoyed about this, and I had to look at it again several times, the technique of the painting kind of attracted me, and it's kind of a hard image to come up with because the picture is done with neutral colors here, and then all of a sudden the background is back there, and the background really makes this neutral area come out, stand out an area. And of course the contrast, the white here, comes out even more. So you have three different main areas. You have the background, you have the positive area, and then you have the light on that. So it really works nice. This one here, I can only imagine this. And again, as with this had the background that had the color that kind of brought this out. On this one, the color is in the foreground and the darkness is in the background. So it's mainly just opposite of this. Color, background, darkness in the background here, as opposed to the bright, positive image, opposed to the neutral colors used here. So this one here has kind of the same idea in the use of different colors, and I'm glad to see the different colors that go together and used in this one right here. Nice, fun images there. Well, okay, now the best to show. The best to show for the middle school is this one here. And there might be a lot of people who say, why in the world did you pick that? Because there is basically, when you look at it, there is no object that you recognize anywhere. It's just a random, and I say that with tongue in cheek because when you start looking at it, it's not random. Accidental, maybe. Since I don't know the artist, I don't know what their idea was or anything like that. But this one here is a fantastic means of looking at composition, looking at color, and seeing the combinations. Now, for instance, make sure my pen here isn't out, so I don't want to mark on it. The composition, I was talking earlier about the golden mean, the most important area of this picture. And what really grabbed my eye was this area right here. And my eye went to that the first time I saw this entry. It was right there. And if you do the golden mean or the composition, drawing the line down right here, okay, then you come off this corner and you come up and it's right there. That's right where it's at. And the other thing, the repeat of shapes. If you look at it, the repeat of shapes all over it. you have a repeat of all these shapes. And I mean, there's so many of them, I'm not going to draw a circle around every one. But they're all over. You talk about line in a drawing or a painting. Lines. Look at these. Lines right there, right there, right there, right there. And to oppose those lines, you have lines going up through here, up through there, up through there. There's just lines, different size lines, just all around. And I would love to know from the individual how much of this was accidental and how much was done on purpose in those locations, if you were even thinking about that. But you have a great eye, because I know you didn't make all this at the same time. You had to have different colors, done different ways, different places. So you have just a wonderful eye, and keep up the work. And honestly, I don't do abstract work very often at all. Most of my work is realistic work, as opposed to the abstract. There. So that's the best to show. All right. Now, I probably should have done this one first, but we'll do it now. The ceramic pieces here, this one is first place. And what I love about this piece here, first of all, you used red clay. The color of the clay and the colors you picked for the object here just are absolutely fantastic together. The red clay in back, which people cannot see like this. So I'm going to pick up one piece. This is the red clay. The way it works with this orange and dark, the brown here is a reddish brown, so it really works nice together. That's my first choice. The second choice is this nice coil pot right here. And I had to feel this and handle it because it's nicely done. The coils are nicely smoothed out. You can still see them. So it has real nice results there. And this one being in third place, what I like about this is the darkness of it with the colors on it. In doing this, I don't know if that's the glaze or if you added another glaze color to it. It might just be the type of glaze that you used, but I enjoyed that very much. And that concludes the middle school at this point, I guess. This is the high school division. And so we'll start out with the drawing fit also. And what really attracted me to this piece here is the use of the space. Positive, negative. And even this here being a negative item in the shadow, this whole thing here, this whole shape right here, acts as a positive in opposition to the negative. So the location of this is fine. I don't see anything wrong with it at all. When we're talking about composition and the golden mean, if you look at this down to here and right there is the main area. So what that person has done is put a highlight there which really jumps out, grabs your eye, and moves you around in that area right there, as opposed to this area here that acts to balance this. So this balances this. So this being first place entry works very nice, even with the object being where it's located at. Just really works nice. This pulls it over, so just a real nice piece. This one here, second piece, what attracted me to this was, even though it's a drawing, is the color. The background color and the foreground color, they all go together. They are nicely matched. The shading is nice. What I would like to see done on this is a little bit more contrast. The darkness isn't quite there on this, but the technical drawing of these is just real nice. The color and the drawing, and again, composition, same place. Right there, you have that highlight that brings your eye right in to this with the stem there, the darkness around it, and it brings, this swings around, takes you into the other places. So, second place there. Now, third place, here. When you look at this one, you have to look at it real close because the color in it is just real strong in the drawing of the face, the hair, but especially the face. That's what attracted me to this one, is this work in here. And we know the nose stick out further than anything else on the face. That's the highlight, so that brings that out towards the viewer. It's just really nicely done area. What I would like to see on this one is a couple of things. First of all, this hair, this piece of hair right here that comes around, and this combination right in here, this is kind of a problem area to me, because it looks like, instead of being on the outside of the face like I think they intended it for it to be, it looks like it cuts this part of the face and you don't see it. If this area here is underneath, in other words, going back, I would like to see it darker there. But I get the idea, because of the location of it, that it's hair that's intended to be on the outside of the face. So if that's the case, then I would like to see this hair become lighter and this area back here darker. And it's a real tough thing to do when you first start, but you want this pulled forward and this to go back, even though that's part of the face, that image right there. So this right here is the only problem area to me that I see. When I look at it, I get the idea, like I said, that part of the face is cut off. That tells me that this person wanted this to be forward. So that's why I was saying the things that I did there. This one here, that was third place. This one here, I'll mention. And what, normally I would say to, when you work in the same direction. But this really works nicely with the technique that the person used. And that is, went horizontal here, went vertically here, horizontal here, and vertically back here. So what it does, it creates a frame, within a drawing. So here's a frame, and that is behind this image right here. So it really works a lot better than I thought when I first looked at it. It just works a lot nicer. Okay. Now to the 100 2D miscellaneous ones. This one, when I first looked at it, I didn't notice the items inside of it. I just noticed the color. The color really stands out. And then the more I looked at it, the more I started seeing things in it. And you probably can't see it on camera, but each one of these has an item on the inside. There's a drawing. And that really is a nice effect. I was shocked, to tell you the honest truth, when I saw it, that, oh, there's something there. So, and it's a combination of things. So this first place, because of the color and the surprise that it gave me when I looked at it real close. Just really nicely done. Okay, second place here. This is a fairly new but real old technique, the folding of it. And the reason, in fact, there's two of them here right together, so you can compare them. This one here is the animal here. The color is a little bit different than this. And that is probably because of the outline to the viewer, although the same color exists. So I'm wondering if the person that did this did the background and then laid this foreground in there. So, but it really, it's a nice little piece. It's strong. Again, we deal with composition. We deal with composition often in these items. Down, crossed. And if you notice, when I'm talking about these, and I don't know if it's accidental or what, but most of the time I go here first or here. So it works out either from either level. But this is a stronger image here than these images over here. If I went diagonal here and came off of this, what I have is the background. So that's why this image is much stronger on this side than the images over here. And I know somebody would be very, very proud of this person. If you don't recognize it, you have to look up the painting, The Scream. And so this works very nice. The blue back here. And I'm wondering on this if this color was changed with this color, or if there was an addition or something. This right here, to me, kind of recedes in the image, and this light area comes forward. So I had a little problem with this and this being together, but it's nicely done. It's just real nicely done. The color works, and even the composition is a little bit different than what we've talked about in the past, with this being this far down, but it's real close here, where the others that I mentioned were over here. This one is down in this area, the main area, because you see this one first because of the color, the way it jumps out, the arms and the head. Okay, and this one, what attracted me to this is not so much what it says, but the technique of how it was accomplished. And the strong point of this is that there are so many different items. Each one of these, and every one is different. But yet, in doing it, have the same technique, the same color, everything works fine together. Even the blue down here that attracts this, brings it down. There's some blue down here. So everything just kind of matches and goes together. So it's a very interesting piece. And if you get a chance, look at it close, and there's a message in that piece that you need to read each item. Okay, all will mention. Then we go to the painting category. And in first place is this here. And what really drew me to this one was the neutral colors, again, like the one in the middle school. But when you look at this one real close, the technique of applying the color to it, the brushwork is really strong, especially in this area right here. I love that stroke of the brush down in there. And that was the main area when I first saw this piece. I didn't look at the face, which was nicely done. I mean, it's an image, you can tell everything that you wanted to know about it. But what attracted me was this area right down here. This here almost becomes an abstract by itself. Just this area right here. and then the realistic view over here added to it. Okay. This one here is real interesting. Okay. Part of it works real nice for me. Another part of it doesn't work as well. And the part that works real nicely is the bottom part of it. This here with the light and everything. The part that I would like to see a little bit different is this area up here. True, there is white here, and that adds to this, but the idea of the hat is lost to me by being so dark with this dark background. So even if this is the dark area, and that's fine, that's no problem, need to have some highlights or something to bring this area out so you don't lose your eye. When you look at this, it almost becomes an image of this without this. So you want to be able to see this part and this part too. Whoops. All right. All right. This one here, the main problem I have with this one is this down here. I would like to have seen this object bigger than what it is. I feel like that when I look at this, that this is a floating item. And I'm not sure if this area here acts as the base of the floating object or is something else, like ground or something. I'm just not sure about this. What I like about it is the color back here, this green color. It really jumps out at you. It brings your eye to this object. It draws you in. It says, come look at me. And that's what I like about this piece. That green is just really strong. Okay, best of show. Well, this is the best of show for the high school division. And the special thing about this, and maybe it's because it's 3D, but I'm not sure that that's the reason. The minute that I started looking at things, my eye went right straight to this. The color is fantastic, and all these lights out here. And you'll notice that the color of these items are repeated in the background here, repeated here. And just the idea of making this shape, then adding on to it, and this shape, and whoever did this piece, I congratulate you on your work here, because it's really nice. It just absolutely grabbed my attention from the very first time I walked in. I saw it sticking out, and wham, my eye went to it. So I had to look at it and see all the things in here. And I don't know this, and I want to throw in a personal note here. I have a feeling that this was influenced by somebody here in town. And I congratulate you and him on the work, because it sure looks nice. I'm just real pleased with it, happy as can be. And I would love to know your technique for making these items, how you formed those. If, you know, I don't know if you used a torch, I don't know if you used iron, just there's a lot of things that you can do with it, but it's very, very nice, very, very strong piece. So, okay, and thank you again, and thank you, Donna, for allowing me to come down. It's been fun. It's a pleasure for me to do this. I just really enjoy seeing the works of these kids and the amount of effort that they put into the items and everything. So thank you very much.